Chapter 2, Rewarding Work, Not Wealth. To any American with the ingenuity and drive to make $1 million, President Biden says, great. Just pay your fair share in taxes. A hedge fund manager or CEO should never pay a lower tax rate than a teacher or a firefighter. A company with billions of dollars in profits should not pay $0 in taxes. A fair tax code is how we invest in the things that make our nation strong, like healthcare, education, a clean environment, and the national defense. It's how we protect programs that Americans rely on, like Social Security and Medicare. It's how we build a powerful economy, reduce fiscal risks, and lead the world. Donald Trump is focused on rigging the game for his billionaire donors instead. He always puts himself and his rich friends first. In 2017, he enacted a reckless, unpaid for tax cut that overwhelmingly benefited the very wealthy and biggest corporations. It was full of outrageous giveaways, including a massive tax break for the wealthiest 0.1%. It slashed the corporate tax rate by nearly half, with executives plowing their windfalls into stock buybacks for their own benefit, rather than investing in workers or better products or lowering prices. After weakening labor protections and complaining that wages are too high, Trump is now telling donors behind closed doors at Mar-a-Lago, you're rich as hell, and we're going to give you tax cuts. That trickle-down approach never worked. Trump's allies predicted that his tax scam would push economic growth as high as 6%, but America's growth rate barely changed. The law had no impact on the average American's income, only boosting wages for those in the top 10%. Trump's allies claimed it would pay for itself, but it instead exploded the federal deficit by $2 trillion. Trump's policies added more to our national debt than has ever been added in a presidential term. Corporate profits have doubled since the pandemic, yet Trump wants to reward corporations with another big tax cut. Republicans are doubling down on Trump's failed approach and have proposed $1 trillion in new corporate tax cuts. They'll repeal the estate tax, so the wealthiest 0.1% of Americans can pass wealth onto their heirs tax-free. They'll give American billionaires an average $3.5 million tax break, a giveaway nearly 50 times bigger than what the average family earns in a year. House Republicans have vowed to pay for part of all that by cutting Social Security and Medicare for everyone else. Economists say Trump's billionaire giveaways and extreme tariffs will slow growth, cost jobs, and trigger a recession his first year back in office, raising taxes on middle-class families by $2,500 a year, and adding trillions to the deficit. Democrats have a different view. We don't believe we should add $5 trillion to the national debt to give more tax breaks skewed to the wealthy and big corporations. We're fighting to reward work, not wealth, to cut costs and make the tax code fairer for the middle class, while making the wealthy and big corporations finally pay their fair share. Under President Biden's plan, no American earning less than $400,000 a year will pay one single penny more in federal taxes, period. We're working to end special interest giveaways and to make sure all Americans play by the same rules. And instead of exploding the national deficit, our plan cuts it by $3 trillion over the next decade, delivering real results for the American people in a fiscally responsible way. Cutting taxes for working families. Democrats will protect everyone earning less than $400,000 a year from any tax increase, and we will fight to protect and expand other tax benefits for working people and families with children. During the pandemic, Democrats expanded the child tax credit, saving nearly 40 million families with 65 million children up to $3,600 per child per year, and cutting child poverty nearly in half to its lowest rate on record. We expanded the earned income tax credit as well, saving over 17 million low-paid workers an average $700 a year. And we expanded the health insurance premium tax credit, saving millions of families who buy coverage on an Affordable Care Act exchange about $800 a year. Republicans are opposed to this tax relief for families that need it. They already blocked renewal of our child tax credit and earned income tax credit expansions, pushing 3 million children back into poverty. Republicans also keep trying to repeal our premium tax credit expansions, which will raise healthcare costs for millions of families. Democrats will keep fighting to restore and protect that tax relief, giving tens of millions of families some breathing room again. And President Biden has also proposed a $10,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers and people selling their first homes to help reduce housing costs for working families. The Treasury Department and the IRS are also making it easier and cheaper for Americans to file their taxes and collect the refunds they're owed. The IRS successfully piloted a free, easy-to-use online tool, Direct File, which has already saved taxpayers millions of dollars in filing fees. It has since announced that Direct File will be a permanent offering, saving users an average $150 in filing costs, but Republicans keep trying to defund this free tool, making the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share. President Biden's plans will cut taxes for middle-class and low-income Americans, and will finance those cuts by making the ultra-wealthy and big corporations finally start paying their fair share. There are 1,000 billionaires in America, and they pay an average 8% in taxes, a far lower rate than a firefighter or a teacher. Democrats will make billionaires pay a minimum income tax rate of 25%, raising $500 billion in 10 years. We'll end the preferential treatment for capital gains for millionaires, so they pay the same rate on investment income as on wages. We'll put an end to abusive life insurance tax shelters and stop billionaires from exploiting retirement tax incentives that are supposed to help middle class families save. We'll eliminate the stepped up basis loophole for the wealthiest Americans, so they can't avoid paying taxes on their wealth by passing it down to heirs. Democrats will close the carried interest loophole, which wealthy fund managers have long used to have tax rates on their own personal pay, so they pay a lower rate than some teachers or firefighters do. That's wrong. And we'll increase our new stock buyback tax to 4% to discourage stock buybacks that benefit executives and wealthy shareholders instead of workers and consumers. We will also keep upping the pressure on wealthy and corporate tax cheats that fail to pay what they owe. The IRS was severely underfunded for years, but Democrats are improving IRS services for everyday taxpayers and reviving enforcement against wealthy and corporate tax cheats, raising more than an estimated $440 billion in additional revenue as a result. The IRS has already collected over $500 million in unpaid taxes from less than 2,000 delinquent millionaires and launched efforts aimed at thousands of other millionaires who hadn't filed a return in years. Democrats will protect this progress by continuing to invest in modernizing the IRS. Republicans are working to reverse it, protecting wealthy tax cheats and increasing the deficit instead. Democrats will also make billion-dollar companies pay their fair share. In 2020, 55 of the biggest companies in America made $40 billion in profit, but paid zero in federal income taxes. Corporations are seeing record margins, but their share of federal taxes has fallen below 10%, down from 30% in the 1950s. It's wrong. Trump doesn't care. He slashed the corporate tax rate to 21%, down from 35%. President Biden will raise that rate back to 28%. And for those billion-dollar tax dodgers, the president signed a historic 15% corporate minimum tax into law. He also reached a global minimum tax agreement with 140 countries, so that big multinational companies will no longer be able to pit nations against one another in a race to the bottom. And Biden will double the tax rate that American multinationals pay on foreign earnings to 21% and end incentives introduced by Trump that encourage companies to shift jobs and operations overseas and book profits in low tax countries. Democrats oppose unfair loopholes and wasteful subsidies that benefit special interests at everyone else's expense. We will fight to get rid of them. That starts by eliminating tens of billions of dollars in subsidies for oil and gas companies. It means ending special tax breaks for corporate jets and boosting fuel taxes on corporate and private jet travel, saving taxpayers $4 billion over 10 years. And we'll no longer permit companies to deduct the cost of paying executives more than $1 million a year. Corporations shouldn't get a tax break for giving huge pay packages to CEOs. We'll also eliminate the so-called like-kind exchange loophole that allows wealthy real estate investors to avoid paying taxes on real estate profits as long as they keep investing in real estate, a tax break that Trump protected for himself and other corporate landlords in his 2017 tax scam. No other industry has that kind of sweetheart deal. It ends now.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. And as you see in front of me, we have Ann LaFleur's second edition, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And we're going to go through the table of contents. Show you exactly what's in these two volumes. What we're looking at right now is the table of contents from the upcoming 2025 third edition, which will be nothing but the combining of Volume 1 and Volume 2 into one singular volume. So this is what you're looking at here. And this is a work in progress. I'm still looking for another publisher. But basically what comes in, you have the cover page, you have an advertising page, Library of Congress certification, title page, dedication forward, and then you have the Revocable Living Trust. And this is all the stuff that's available in there. You guys can see this. This book is available at The Fearless Floyd Show. yahoo.com/store. Ebooks are available. The soft cover books are available, or both, or you can get a package, the books in a class or classes, whatever you want to take. Again, everything is available over at the fearlessfloydshow.com website. If you need to reach me about any questions concerning this, you can always reach me at TheFearlessFloydShow@yahoo.com. And I'm catching up to some of you guys. So if you've emailed me or texted me, I'm getting to you. I've just had tons of texts and emails to deal with regarding my accident last month. I mean, insurance companies, doctors, physical therapy, repair shop. It's just been a whirlwind of emails, phone calls, and texts. I have to go through all my text and knock off all the garbage out of there. There are a minimum of 7 different trusts in here, as you see: revocable, irrevocable, foreign, charitable remainder trust, college education trust, express trust, land trust, and here we are at the end. Also has a fee schedule in there. And there you go. Those are the table of contents for these books. And again, these books are available. Fearless Floyd Show. The website, very easy to find. When you get here, if you want to email me, you just click on Email Fearless. Right here, trust classes, trust books, merchandise. Coming in 2025, the 3rd edition. As you see, revocable, irrevocable, foreign, charitable remainder, express, college education, and land trusts. All you do is click on that. It'll take you right over to the store. And there you go. I need to change that cover today on that. And then here's the classes. These are the packages that I was telling you about, where you get the book and classes. If you want to do something that I don't offer, something a la carte, all you got to do is email me, TheFearlessFloydShow@yahoo.com. And there you go. There you have it. That's what it looks like. Table of contents for Ann LaFleur's On Trust book. It's the first and last book on trust you'll ever need for you and your family. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.